Oh man, I'm almost out of breath after that. What a race at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I mean, I said coming into this that, it was going to be eventful. I was hoping it was going to be eventful. Friday practice was great. Qualifying was great. This race as well, honestly, fantastic race today. Really, really enjoyed it. You couldn't tell who was going to win until literally the very few final laps. It was a great battle at the front, a great battle in the midfield, some real clash drives. And I've got to try and summarise it as best I can into 5 things that we learned from the 2024 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But you know how it is on the F1 Chronicle, guys. I'm going to do my best to do that. So let's start with the first thing. So most of the grid started on the medium tyre today. However, some drivers further back elected to start on the hard tyre. One of these was Lando Norris, who of course started well down the grid after a poor performance in qualifying, got caught out by the yellow flags, ended up lining up, I think in the end, in P15 thanks to some penalties from some other drivers ahead. Norris did an incredible job today, and for me, one of the drivers of the day, and he also really in truth rescued his championship challenge, because if he lost significant points to Max Verstappen today, I don't know if he'd be able to recover from that, but instead he has actually gained points on Verstappen. Despite Verstappen starting up, and I think it was about P6, he has actually lost points to Lando Norris today. Norris made the one-stop strategy work to perfection. He went with the alternate strategy. He overtook the other guys who were on the hard tyres ahead of him, including drivers like Alex Albon. I'll get onto him very shortly. He had a fantastic day today as well. But yeah, he went very long on the hard tyres, stopped late on. He was the last driver to make a pit stop. His tyre management today was world class. It was absolutely brilliant. He just powered his way through the field. I think he had about 15 seconds to make up to try and pass Max Verstappen, but pass him he did. He made it look easy. He ended up in P4, just off of the podium. Superb. One of the drives of the season, in my opinion, from Lando Norris today. But let's talk about some other guys. So I gave a mention to Max Verstappen there. He was not a happy bunny today at all. He had some brake issues today that was really causing him problems when trying to slow down. In truth, when Norris was ahead of him before he made his pit stop, and after Max Verstappen made his pit stop, Verstappen normally would have been able to get past him, I feel, but brake issues prevented him from doing so, overheating in the traffic, just like we saw from Sir Lewis Hamilton, and just like we saw as well from Charles Leclerc. I'll get onto him very, very soon as well. But yeah, Max Verstappen ended up in P5, and that really flattered him and his car's performance today. And he was instead boosted up a little bit at the end by a double retirement near the front of the field. Absolute drama. So throughout most of this race, it was Charles Leclerc against Oscar Piastri for the victory. Oscar Piastri ended up breaking past Charles Leclerc, ended up getting ahead of the DRS zone. Leclerc was struggling on his tyres in the latter stages. He went off the cliff, as they say. Sergio Perez was absolutely all over his gearbox. Perez tried to pass Leclerc into turn 1, but Leclerc was very, very aggressive and robust in his defence. On the line, but not over it, in my opinion. I think that was okay what he did. But the end result of that was that it actually allowed Carlos Sainz to sweep past Sergio Perez, or so he thought, into P3. They ended up going side by side and battling out of turn 2. The two of them collide, both out of the race. The race ends under virtual safety car because of that. It has just ended right now, and you guys might think I'm sitting on the fence, but I am not giving an opinion on this incident at this time. I need to see some more replays. I need to do some more analysis. I'm going to do so later today. Like I said, the race has just finished now. This is a breaking story, like I said, that this race has concluded. But what a race it was. My initial thought is that it seems like it's 6-1, half a dozen the other. I will be honest, however, I reserve the right to change my opinion on the grounds that I need to see some more replays. But it seemed to me as though, I think it was Carlos Sainz on the left, he seemed to go Carlos Sainz on the right, he seemed to move slowly towards the left. Perez, conversely, he was on the left and he seemed to slowly move towards the right, and the two collected each other, both out of the race because of that. Both thankfully okay as well. It was a nasty, nasty crash that. Yeah, they were going at some significant speed at that point. Anyway, fourth thing we learned, Oscar Piastri won the race. What a drive from the Australian today. He was pretty much nowhere relatively in the first stint compared to Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc leading away, and in his own words, Oscar Piastri cooked his tyres basically in the opening stages of this race. Because of that, he ended up losing a lot of pace. I think it was like an 8-second gap because of that. Piastri instead decided to pit early. The undercut got him within striking distance of Leclerc. He took his chance. That might have been his only chance in this race to pass Charles Leclerc, but pass him he did. And like I said, later on in the race, Leclerc ended up ruining his tyres as well and dropping back. But Oscar Piastri defended masterfully today. Masterfully. Perfectly. He did just enough to keep Charles Leclerc behind every time. He never overstepped the line. He never moved under braking. He did everything in the book to keep him behind, and it worked. Absolutely world class in my opinion. Genuinely. How is this his second season of Grand Prix racing? How? It just defies logic. You know, this kid is unbelievable. Future world champion without a doubt, in my opinion. But let's stop waxing lyrical about Oscar Piastri. Let's have a look and wax lyrical a little bit in my final one for some unlikely point scorers today. Guys who didn't look like they were going to score that many points, but because of the double retirement of Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz ahead, that meant that the likes of Franco Colapinto scored 4 points today. He got 8th place because of that. Ollie Behrman up into 10th. He scores his first point for Haas. Another point score for Ollie Behrman in Formula 1. He is 2 for 2 in that regard. And Alex Albon as well, arguably the driver of the day, some would say. Personally, I would go for Piastri. Like I said, masterful drive from him today. But Alex Albon up in P7 in the end in his Williams. Williams scoring 10 points. Beware Alpine. They are coming for you. They are absolutely coming for you. They might have even passed them with that, to be honest. I've not looked at the constructor standings yet. But anyway, I've massively overrun. Those are the 5 things we learned. I did my best to sum it up. It's Azerbaijan, it's Baku. It was crazy. It was brilliant. What were your main thoughts for today? Who is your driver of the day? And of course, I will be reacting to all the stories and talking points from this race here on the F1Chronicle.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell as well to see much more Formula 1 content just like this. Oh, I can't wait for Singapore after this. Fantastic today. Absolutely loved it.